Beginilah aksi para ibu-ibu dan juga bapak-bapak para pedagang yang memang menolak aksi penggusuran dari pemerintah Kota Lok Sumawe. Ini berlanjut Bu,
Berlanjut Pak.
Berlanjut ya.
Kalau itu seandainya tidak ada solusi dari pemerintah, kami pindahkan tenda ini ke depan Pak PJ wali kota.
Oh gitu.
Iya.
Hello, good afternoon Tribuners. Welcome back with me Mutiara in Indonesian News of Tribun Lampung. We will present you an updating and interesting information from every place in Indonesia. And here the complete news. The first news is Aremania sent a letter to President Jokowi as a form of protest against the Kanjuruhan tragedy. The movement to investigate truly regarding the Kanjuruhan Stadium tragedy continues to be voiced by Aremania and Aremanita. In the tragedy that occurred after Arema FC lost to Persebaya Surabaya with a score of 2-3 on Saturday, the 1st of October 2022, it was recorded that 135 people died. Most recently, Aremania and Aremanita took action by sending more than 500 letters to President Jokowi. Aremania carried out this action by visiting the Malang Post Office, which is located on Merdeka Road, Malang City on Tuesday, the 17th of November 2022. The letters sent contained messages that Aremania want to convey regarding the Kanjuruhan Stadium tragedy. Before sending letters to the post office, Aremania first gathered in front of the east entrance of Gajayana Stadium, Malang City. There, they started writing the message they want to convey to President Jokowi. After all the letters were collected, Aremania continued their action by holding a long march from Gajayana Stadium to the Malang Post Office together. The Aremania action was carried out by carrying various posters containing messages to investigate the Kanjuruhan Stadium tragedy truly. Firman said that the arrival of hundreds of Aremania to the post office was not for a demonstration. The post office was chosen because it is one of the government agencies that have access to the state palace. The letters sent by Aremania are addressed at the Presidential Palace Complex. The letter is addressed to the Honorable President of Republik Indonesia, Insinyur Joko Widodo. The letters sent by Aremania were immediately received by the head of the Malang Post Office, Ahmad Ridwan. Ridwan promised that he would immediately send this letter to the Presidential Palace Complex. The next news is dozens of traders in the Lok Sumawe Pusong Reservoir set up a hunger strike post. Dozens of traders in the Pusong Reservoir in Lok Sumawe on Tuesday, the 17th of November 2022 afternoon began their demonstration. The action to protest the eviction was carried out on the reservoir route by setting up a tent, where on the tent was written the words "Hungry Strike Post." Apart from that, the traders also displayed a number of posters with a number of words which essentially rejected the Lok Sumawe city government's plan to evict them. Under the tent, you can see a number of traders, both men and women. A number of merchants also covered their mouths. In addition, on the edge of the tent also seen a number of intravenous fluids. As well as visible to the naked eye, there are 3 female traders who are being infused. According to the information from the traders, a few days ago they received a letter from the Lok Sumawe Civil Service Police Unit Office. The contents of the letter requested that the traders dismantle their trading places, especially those built on stone embankments. The traders were given until the 18th of November 2022. If it is not moved by the time limit, it will be demolished. On this basis, starting this Thursday afternoon, they also held an action. This action was to reject the plan of the Lok Sumawe city government to evict them. Moreover, considering that the majority of them have been selling in the reservoir for dozens of years, until this news was released, the traders were still holding out under the hood. The next news is, 2 teenagers become suspect of police killings in Bali. The identity of the perpetrator in the murder case of a 22-year-old police officer with the initial FNS on Pidada 5th Street, Ubung, North Denpasar has found a bright spot. The terrible incident that occurred on Wednesday, the 16th of November 2022, was apparently carried out by 2 suspects. Surprisingly, the 2 suspects with the initial A and L turned out to be underage. The initial suspect A is 15 years old, while F is 16 years old. This was confirmed by the head of the North Denpasar Sector Police, First Inspector Iputu Carlos Doleskit, and accompanied by the head of Public Relations Section of Denpasar City Resort Police, First Inspector Iketut Sukadi, who was met by Bali Tribun. It is also known that the suspects had their respective roles in this murder. The sectoral police chief also explained that the perpetrators and victims, as well as the woman with the initial LKD, did not know each other. However, when asked about the suspect's mode of stabbing, his party admitted that they were still carrying out further investigation. The sectoral police chief also said the suspect could face up to 7 years in prison. As previously reported, a policeman with the initial FNSB, who was 22 years old, died after having an altercation with a prostitute at Hotel Pidada 5 Street, North Denpasar. The woman with the initial LKDS was said to have been ordered by the victim on Wednesday, November 16. The victim, who turned out to be a police officer from the Indonesian Republic Police Headquarters and served at the G20 Bali Summit, also felt that this woman was different from her wishes. He asked to cancel the order and instead on a refund. The LKDs, which did not accept the rejection, shouted until heard by other visitors and perpetrators. The perpetrator and his partner came to meet the victim after hearing the screams, and then the perpetrator and the victim clashed. The perpetrator then stabbed the victim. The next news is, the bus of the athlete group from North Penajam Pasir Regency fell into a ravine. The bus for the contingent of Provincial Sport Week contingent from North Penajam Pasir Regency had an incident plunging into a ravine in Kelai District, Berau on Tuesday, 17 November 2022. The head of the PPU Yacht and Sports Agency, Ali Mudin, when confirmed the incident. The accident occurred around 12 a.m. The accident occurred in Kelai District, Berau Regency. Several passengers on the bus who were athletes and officials at the Provincial Sport Week reportedly suffered injuries and broken bones. The cause of the bus carrying the contingent for the North Penajam Pasir Provincial Sport Week was leaked because the bus was not strong enough to climb. The bus then walked backwards and in the end, the bus fell into a ravine. Ali Mudin revealed that victims had been evacuated to the Kelai Community Health Center and the Abdul Rifai Tanjung Redep Regional General Hospital to receive medical treatment. It is known that the Provincial Sport Week contingent from North Penajam Pasir Regency consists of athletes, coaches, and officials going to Berau as the host of the East Kalimantan Provincial Sport Week 2022. Thus, who departed Wednesday, the 16th of November 2022, total 52 people. Athletes departing from the wushu, taekwondo, and bridge sport. The next news is, dozens of Koalisia villagers questioned the clean drinking water program. Dozens of residents from two hamlets in Koalisia village, Maga Penda district, Sika Regency, came to the Koalisia village office hall to ask for an explanation regarding the clean drinking water program being handled by Pamsimas so far. In addition to listening the explanation, the arrival of dozens of residents on Tuesday, the 17th of November 2022, also aimed to convey their respective complaints regarding the construction of a clean drinking water matter which currently has been handled by 70% of Pamsimas. Dozens of residents who came were received by the village office Pamsimas accompanied by several security forces. According to those, a resident of Kolit Hamlet, Koalisia village, before the program was implemented, the residents were not previously given socialization regarding the Pamsimas program. He said when he saw it in the field, the clean drinking water matter that was being worked on by technical team was not in accordance with the rules and procedures for installing water matters. Therefore, he asked Pamsimas to go to the field to see firsthand the working process of the community group that handles the program. Meanwhile, several other residents who attended also demanded that the community group chosen to handle the program must work transparently and involve the local community so that the benefit of this year's clean drinking water program could be felt. Meanwhile, Pamsimas coordinator Vincencia Marturi Serang, after hearing the complaints from the community, she expressed her gratitude because the community had conveyed the things they complained about. The woman, who is usually called Mrs. Tuti, hopes that the complaints from the community can be followed up immediately. The next news is, fishermen in Surabaya have succeeded in harvesting milkfish optimally. Fishermen in Wonorejo, Surabaya have successfully harvested 5 quintals of milkfish from fish farming in ponds. This is part of a labor-intensive program through the utilization of Surabaya city government assets. In the Wonorejo area, the fishermen who received this intervention included the Makmur Joint Business Group. They took advantages of the 7 hectares of Surabaya city government assets. The use of assets for ponds is adjusted to the condition, needs, and desires of the community. The hope is that the community can be economically empowered. In addition to providing assets, the Surabaya city government also provides a number of other interventions. Among other things, providing assistance to fishermen, providing seeds to feed. In choosing milkfish as an economic development commodity, fishermen also consider many aspects. In addition to economic value, it also adapts to the habitat. For the target marketing of crops, continue antique. Farmers usually market them to a number of traditional markets. The sale of the harvest will be used for the needs of fishermen and also for the preparation of the next nursery and provision of it. The labor-intensive program through the use of ex-village land treasury assets for ponds is one of the community's economic development strategies. The last news is, Madiun Raya workers demand an increase in the minimum wage. The workers of Madiun Raya demanded an appropriate district or city minimum wage in the year 2023 to be 3.5 million to 4 million rupiah. According to the chairman of the Madiun Raya Workers Union, Aris Budiono, the minimum wage for the city of Madiun in the year 2023 should have increased 100% compared to the 2022. According to Aris, a wage of 1.9 million does not meet a decent standard of living in Madiun Raya. Moreover, the government has increased the price of subsidized fuel oil. This is considered by Aris to have a great impact on workers who are in the middle of lower economic community. The high demand for salaries submitted by Aris was also the result of the company's arbitrary attitude after the job creation law was introduced. He is also sure that the company will be able to pay the amount of wage he mentioned. Aris will also submit the figure to the Wage Council during the city minimum wage discussion. Well, I think those all the news for today with me, Mutiara. Don't forget to follow us in YouTube Tribun Lampung News Video, Tribun Lampung Facebook and Instagram and TikTok of Tribun Lampung for further information. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.